And shifting our focus to the latest breaking news that's come in, the Prime Minister has welcomed the Gaza peace plan. Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking to social media. He says, and I caught him here, and that's the tweet that we've pulled out for you as well. We welcome President Donald Trump's announcement of a comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict. It provides a viable pathway to long-term and sustainable peace, security and development for Palestinian and Israeli people, as also for the larger West Asian region. We hope that all concerned will come together behind President Trump's initiative and support this effort to end conflict and secure peace. That's the Prime Minister welcoming this initiative by President Donald Trump, also giving him credit for the initiative, urging all stakeholders concerned to support this effort and end the conflict and also securing peace. So his focus is, of course, on peace in Middle East, something that's been echoed by Donald Trump in actually making this move in the first place. Siddhant Mishra and Sanjay Suri join us with more details. Sanjay, if I can begin with you to really get in a Washington, D.C. perspective, tell us more. What were these rounds of conversations that took place that are to be credited behind this move? Because Israeli Prime Minister said that this is an acceptance, but on a certain condition. So certain conditions have been put forth by him. Tell us everything that happened behind the doors.
Well, the initiative has come from President Trump here in Washington, D.C., and he has been leading a move to secure peace in that area. And the immediate decision now comes following a meeting that he held with Prime Minister Netanyahu. There have been a number of obstacles in the way, to say the least. But as proposed, this is a rather unusual deal, because the proposal is for a board of peace to be headed by President Trump. Ultimately, it will be President Trump then who will be in charge of Gaza if this were to go ahead. Hamas has been given no choice really but to cease to exist. It has been told very firmly that if it does not, then Trump will let Netanyahu do what he pleases, and most certainly that will mean that Israel crushes Gaza or what's left of it. Then the proposal is for a board to be administered, and the administrator, the executive head, so to speak, would be former British Prime Minister Tony Blair. Blair is not exactly popular in the Arab world. He joined the US in that invasion of Iraq over those weapons of mass destruction that turned out not to have been there. But in any case, he is now back on board with this proposal if it goes ahead. However imperfect, this certainly is the nearest we've come to anything like a specific peace proposal that has any chance at all. And given that there is an offer even for Palestinians, there is a move to proposal to release 250 people from Gaza in Israel for life imprisonment, in all about 2,000 prisoners to be released, and that there would be some Palestinian representation on that board as well. Not perfect, but this is the nearest we've come to peace, and however difficult and however many questions arise, this is certainly a chance for peace to come at last.
Okay, thank you for that, Sanjay. We'll come back to you in just a bit. Siddhant is with us on the broadcast. To Siddhant, the Prime Minister has come out to welcome this initiative, has credited Donald Trump for the same. But in the past, all the conditions that have been put forth, while striking a deal or in an attempt to strike the deal by US President has been in a way rejected by Hamas. It's time and again rejected these conditions, which has essentially led to these recurrent flare-ups. How is the situation going to be any different this time around? What is this new wave of optimism that's being witnessed given this 20-point plan?
Well, Katrine, adding to what Sanjay said, in the past also we have seen, right after coming to office, there was 2 days ahead of President Trump's inauguration, there was a ceasefire announced in West Asia, but that ceasefire couldn't last. So this particular peace agreement to which Netanyahu has agreed, the Arab countries have agreed, perhaps will only be lasting till Israel decides to violate the sovereignty of any other country in the West Asia. So right now, it's just a commitment on a face, a quick screen. Let's wait and watch, because in the past also there have been many such commitments given by Israeli leadership. But after each and every commitment, there has been a strike in one or the other country in the West Asia. We all know that. So till when this agreement is going to last, till when this proposal is going to last, perhaps that would really be interesting to see. As far as Prime Minister Modi's welcoming President Trump's announcement of comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict is concerned, then Prithwin, India has strongly condemned the terror attack on 7th October and also the loss of civilians' lives in the Israel-Hamas conflict. India has consistently called for a release of all hostages, ceasefire, and peaceful resolution of conflict through dialogue and diplomacy. In fact, this month only, India has voted in favor of the resolution in the United Nations General Assembly that endorses the New York Declaration on the peaceful settlement of the Palestine issue and implementation of the two-state solution. This resolution was introduced by France and was adopted by 142 nations, voting in favor, 10 against, and 12 abstentions. Now, India also participated in UN high-level conference on peaceful settlement of the Palestine question and implementation of the two-state solution. And 123 countries attended, and this conference was co-chaired by France and Saudi Arabia. So as far as India's role is concerned, perhaps India has always remained in touch with friends and partners in West Asia. In fact, India has voted in favor of the New York Declaration. Indian envoy participated in the conference, which was co-hosted by France and Saudi Arabia on the sidelines of UNGA. So India has always played a very positive role as far as conflict in West Asia is concerned. India engages with both the sides, and India India's position has always been solution through dialogue and diplomacy.
The solution doesn't lie in war, is what the Prime Minister said verbatim, and not once, on multiple occasions. Sanjay, the statement then that's come in from Benjamin Netanyahu is also very clear. He's accepted the 20-point proposal, and he's also thanked Donald Trump for the same, has spoken of how the greatest friend Israel has ever had is President Trump. But he's also said that Hamas has been given a chance to do this peacefully. He's set a deadline of 72 hours. If all hostages are not released within 72 hours, then we will finish the job. So he's in a sense maintaining what he has through and through this conflict, isn't it? That we're going to put out a condition, but if the conditions are not met in time, we're not going to walk back on our demands.
You're quite right, because this now brings everything to a head. This kind of warning has been issued before, and this is a very clear warning to Hamas that if it does not give up the hostages, if it does not accept the peace plan, which includes the release of a number of Palestinians, about 2,000 of them who are in Israeli jails, then it will be the end of Hamas. There will be a steamrollering over Gaza, and that Hamas will be held responsible for it. Whether Hamas accepts it is the question, and whether more widely Palestinians accept it is the question. Because as proposed, this is going to be a board of peace where the representation of any Palestinian is likely to be very little more than symbolic. You have President Trump at the top, then you have Tony Blair as the sort of chief executive, then you have a number of board members. Together with that, you have Israel that will be speaking very forcefully, watching every move very intently without any hesitation to move if it perceives a violation. So it would be a fragile setup, not necessarily one that may last very long. It could be argued that this solution would be kicking the can down the road, but even so, even if you kick the can down the road, if you can have some peace for now, that will be a start. There is some hope, at least, for some sort of settlement.
Temporary ceasefire has been achieved. Lasting peace is what remains elusive. So one's wondering whether that is going to be achieved this time around or not. Thank you, Sanjay and Siddhant, for joining us with all those details. With that, we shift our focus